What's up everybody, welcome to the official Trade Talk channel where I show you how I analyze price for the most consistent and higher probable entries to help you guys become better traders. Today we're going to be discussing Bitcoin, what we can potentially be looking for this week to come. I didn't have an upload last week because it was the 4th of July, and to be honest with you, we really haven't done a whole lot since then. But we'll go ahead and look at some things and see what we could potentially do for next week. If that sounds good to you, then make sure you stick around. Before we get into the video, a word from our sponsor, Bitget, the new partners for the Trade Talk community. They have received regulatory licenses for the US, Canada, as well as Australia, making them a trusted exchange. Perfect for US users and no KYC. They have different options such as Quanto, which is a swap futures contract, as well as copy trading. Trading on Bitget can be done through either the mobile app or web applications. Bitget has built a reputation of being a safe, dependable, and valid platform. Compared to most popular crypto exchanges, Bitget has by far the lowest transaction fees. The trading platforms are easy to operate, making the deposit and withdrawal process very straightforward. Placing trades on the platform is easy and executions are fantastic. The user interface is nice to look at and not clunky like other exchanges I've used in the past, so if you would like to give Bitget a chance, there is a link in the description down below, and use my referral code XTSC. Once again, that is X-Ray Tango Sierra Charlie when you sign up. Make your first on-chain or fiat deposit, transfer it into your USDT margined futures account, and you will receive a tiered reward of up to $4,000. Show them some love. New sponsor. Click the link. All right, let's get started, shall we? First thing, let's go on over here to the quarterly, because July we did get a new quarterly candle. The opening of the new quarter happened on July, and you can see that we haven't really went anywhere yet. So yeah, it doesn't look like anything special yet. Here is also the July monthly candles range as of right now. We are long. We did get long looking for the July low. We do have a July low in, and price has been trading away from it. That price is $18,755. Now, I did not buy the exact low. I had to wait for a support test once a support was formed. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you're new to the videos, there is a support and resistance video in the beginner start here playlist. But anyways, we did find that support. I did get long, and I am looking for this monthly range to continue to the upside. All right, my target on the monthly range is last month's, well, not last month's low, but this month of May, looking for that low to be tested, $25,338. Now, obviously, I don't know if it's going to turn around there or not, but that is basically the expansion target that I have for July. All right, over here on the weekly CME chart, you can see that we did indeed close above resistance. Also, something to keep in the back of your mind here is we do have this bullish divergence that was going on this chart. You can see that we do have the RSI making higher lows as price was making lower lows. And you can see that last week we did get a nice bullish move. So this is another reason why we decided to take a long looking for the July low, and so far we're doing all right on that position. All right, back over here to the spot market. Now, we haven't closed on Bitcoin just yet. On the weekly, that won't happen until tomorrow. You can see that the weekly resistance is going to be $21,027. So that's going to be the weekly resistance. We want to see Bitcoin close above that. Since the CME did close above that, I think that we have a pretty good shot of the spot market closing above as well. Now, it doesn't mean it will, obviously, because we know the CME chart has gaps, so we could indeed gap lower on the open on the CME, but this is the level that we're going to pay attention to moving on into next week. So when this candle closes, we want to watch to see if we get a tag at this level and then maybe another push to the upside. We also have a daily support level that is a little bit lower than this that we can keep an eye on as well, and we'll discuss that in a little bit later. I also want to pull up the 200 simple moving average, as this will show you that, people are trying to look to short this right now simply because we're at the 200 again. Remember, when we broke down, we closed several weeks under the 200, and this is the first test of it. So it is natural that when price goes back up to it, that you will have a slight pullback. If you took a short there, I don't see really any problem with it, other than the fact that you're trying to short a very overextended market to the downside. You are oversold down here. So I guess if you want to take a short up there, I don't see any problem with it, but we are looking for price to expand to the upside. So I'm pretty sure short positions are being built in here, because one thing that retail loves to do is they love to get on the wrong side of the market a lot. So if you're looking for short positions here because you think Bitcoin's going down to $10,000, be prepared, because there's a lot of people that are just like me that are looking to change it up a bit. We've had a big down move. We called the top up here. We've been short Bitcoin ever since then. We've taken massive profits on this move lower. So now it's time to start looking for either sideways to up markets, in my opinion. And all it's going to be basically based on what happens on CPI this Wednesday. So make sure you stay tuned for that number and keep an eye out. If we go higher than 8.6, that was the last reading we had. If we go up higher than that, then yeah, I could see a little bit more downside, and I could potentially see this low being taken out. But the CPI number is going to basically control the markets. All right, we know what the Fed is doing, and the Fed is going to continue to do what they do until they get a reading from CPI that shows a trend of inflation backing off, going lower. Then that could induce the Fed to start to take more of a dovish stance and pivot. That pivot will absolutely cause the market to move higher. With that being said, please understand that market participants are getting prepared for that now, all right? We're not waiting for 3 CPI prints to start buying the markets, because if you do that, you're going to be buying much higher, more than likely. So we know that according to this metric and a few other metrics that, we are in a buy zone, all right? If we pull up the MVRVZ score, you can see that we are in the green. We're deep in the green as well. Oversold on the weekly. These have all been really decent signals to look to be a buyer. Let me go out 5 years. Anytime Bitcoin traded into this green zone, that was a decent place to buy. There again, nice, decent place to buy. So once again, I'm not looking for new all-time highs, but I am looking for maybe to bounce to come out of this area. So I will trade it to the upside. And finally, we come back over here to the daily time frame. This is that weekly level right there. Let's get rid of this. This is that weekly level. That was my target, that white line that I just deleted. I also like the fact that we got this real big, strong down candle right there, and that white line came in close to the midpoint of that. So that's basically my target for this upside move. I will also be watching $20,153, as that is the last daily support level. All right, so we have weekly res there. We'll see if weekly res can act as support. If it doesn't, we'll look for Bitcoin to pull in a little bit deeper down into here. Now we do have a big range here that is already intact, or still intact, I should say, and that range looks like this. This is your lowest close, so this is the low end of the range. That is support. When we came into this area, I instructed people to look to be a buyer here because it was support. As you can see, that support level held, and that buying position worked out absolutely beautifully, just as predicted. Now, when I got long, I waited for this to pull away into support right in here. Then we broke out right there on this day. Then we got a big strong move to the upside. I just simply waited for price to pull right back into my level that I was looking for, and that is where I became a buyer. So I have bought there, and I am still sitting in that position, but I did take profit. Once we started to push up, I started shedding some of these profits as price moved up into the top end of the range. And as you can see with this candle here, we didn't quite get a test of daily res, but it was the first time that we got a test of daily supply. Notice how this wick didn't hit it, that wick didn't hit it. So it is possible that now that we have liquidated these swing highs right here, we did test that daily supply, and we have gotten a slight bit bearish reaction, not a massive one, just a little bearish reaction. I'm going to pull up the 21 exponential moving average right here just so you can see something. So if you remember on the weekly RSI, we're just starting to get out of the oversold area. Also, if we pull up the RSI on the daily, you're going to see that we almost did get a 50 test. Now, this is typically a spot where we do look for more bearish price action to come back into the market, simply because you're still in the bearish control zone under the 50, and people will look for shorts. And you can see that people are. Yesterday was a red day, today is red. But one thing that I'm keeping an eye on here is this yellow line. That is the 21 exponential moving average. If we have any kind of closure below, the next level I'm watching is daily support. I will look to be a buyer there. If indeed that level holds. But you can see that it does look like things are starting to shape up a little bit. Now, we did get above the 21 exponential average over here last time we had a sideways environment like this, and you can see like just 2 or 3 days later you were back under, and this ended up being not a very good buying opportunity because markets crashed even further. I think now is a good time to do it. You have a low down there to back off or to at least manage risk on, but please don't be a buyer up here in the $22,000 area. Please let price pull back down to $20,000 or even $18,000 before you look to be a buyer. I don't know if price is going to pull back that far, but if it does, then we'll reassess the markets. Then we get above the 21 and we get above this 50, then the market could rip for a few weeks to the upside. Not looking for anything massive. Remember, 25K is my target to the upside. Then I'll reevaluate everything going on. If I come over here and bring up the Bollinger Bands, you're going to also see something that is not very important or special. Let me get rid of this, but we have basically came back into the mean like we did over here, and you got similar to the same reaction. See how you got a bullish move up once you did get above it, but eventually you got back under it and it rolled over. So, you can watch the Bollinger Band if you wish. If you get back under and you're closing dailies consistently under, then maybe look out for another big move to the downside. But as long as you're closing dailies above this mean, then you are technically bullish. All right. Not in the long term. This is specifically for next week. All right. We're looking for maybe a pullback next week into Wednesday. Then we're looking for a lower CPI print, or at least the same 8.6 or lower. And then if we get a lower print than 8.6, I'm pretty sure you might see Thursday have a big, strong bullish day. Now, obviously that's looking into the future, and I do not have a crystal ball, but I am positioned in that way. So typically what you're going to find on this channel is I have already positioned myself, or I am looking to position myself in that way. Every now and then we eat stops. That's part of trading. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you like the video, you can communicate that to me by smashing that like button. As always, make sure you guys trade safe, make sure you trade smart, and as always, happy trading.